Hello, lovely listeners, and welcome back to the Art Saddle Podcast, a podcast for musicians and music lovers and creatives of all type. And this week, it's a special in-person podcast for the first time.
What?
I'm joined by my co-host, as always, Kenan Flannery. Say hello.
Hello. What's the story? How are you keeping?
Not too bad. And we also have a very special guest, Heather Turkington.
Yay!
Say hello, Heather.
Hi everybody. It's good to be here.
Yes. Heather is a singer.
Here in your home.
So,
In
yes,
my house,
we're in our
yeah.
house.
It's good for us to be here too.
Heather is a singer, a theatrical actor at times, and a dramatherapist. She has her own podcast called Real Talk Dramatherapy. Isn't that right?
Actually got through it this time with like Kenan going, no,
Yeah.
we don't talk about
Well,
them.
I'm in your home. I don't want to start trashing yet. You know what I mean? I was like, I'll be nice. Maybe I'll put something in the post. My tag is wrong or something.
That's threatening.
It's a great podcast.
Yeah. Before we get into our chat, though, Kenan, tell the lovely people where they can find us on the socials.
You could find us on Facebook and on Instagram at the Art Saddle Podcast. You can on YouTube, the Art Saddle Podcast as well.
Yep.
And our Gmail is theartsaddle@gmail.com. You can send in whatever you want, recommendations, topics if you want to be on. And we also have a Patreon.
Yes.
That's the Art Saddle Podcast or just
The Art Saddle Podcast.
Art Saddle Podcast.
Patreon.com/The Art Saddle Podcast.
solid. You can, if you're on our socials in the bios and stuff, and yeah, it's deadly. You'll get a shout out.
Bonus episode.
4 bonus episodes a month.
Yeah.
So, and it's only €1, so you're basically, it's 25 cents an episode.
Yes.
And, we're worth a lot more than that.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
you're getting a bargain. And yeah. And while we're on that topic.
Yeah, I think it's time for a few shout outs.
Yes, it is.
We announced our
Ooh.
Patreon last week.
How exciting.
Yeah. And we already have 2 patrons, as you could call them. First was Rob Billington from the
Woo!
Monster Fuzz podcast.
Yes, Rob.
Go on,
Yeah.
Rob.
Go on, Rob.
Go on.
Good guy. He has a Monster Fuzz podcast. He's a fellow Wexfordian. I know you love that, you using that word.
I
Kenan.
love Wexfordian. It's
Yeah.
so funny. So like unself-aware of how uncool you are.
It's look.
What's wrong with Wexfordian?
Wexford. Would that be like me
Well,
going,
yeah.
oh, I'm a Dublinese? It's like, give it over. Like, what are you nervous for?
Dublinese.
You're a Jackeen, sure.
Jackeen, we're in the
Yeah.
wrong place to be talking about that. We do have stuff in common.
What? So am I a northerner or not? What am I allowed to call
I
myself?
feel like we're too early in the podcast to begin this conversation.
Oh, way too early.
We'll give it a few minutes.
We'll come back to our patrons
wait
first.
till all the Protestants stop
So that's-
listening, and then we'll start. we'll kick into the fun part.
And so that's Rob Billington from the Monster Fuzz podcast. I have to give him a good shout out. Himself and Eamon O'Leal. They talk about cryptids and fast arses and Weetabix and orange juice. You get the references if you listen to it. Go and listen to it. It's a great, great podcast. And also our second patron was the amazing Carol Lewis. And she
Yes, Carol.
she supported
Go
us
on,
there.
Carol.
She went up to the second tier. I think I put a second tier of, I think it was €4, not expecting anyone to ever go for it. But Carol went for it. And Carol's great. And she's always on my live streams and always sending me nice messages and sending radio requests into Kildare FM for my songs and things like that. So she's
That's lovely.
great support.
That's the support you need.
That's exactly it.
That is.
Thanks
That's
very
what
much,
it is.
Carol. Thanks, Rob, as well. And this week, we have a special in-person episode with the lovely Heather Turkington. And
Yeah.
Heather is from, it's Armagh we're in, isn't it?
Yes.
Armagh. Antrim Armagh, I keep getting mixed up. But we're in Armagh. And we have a whole host of accents now. I have the Wexfordian accent, of course, mine. Or we'll have the New Ross accent. It's different. There's a distinction between them. Then we have the Jackeen over here, who speaks thick Finglas accent. And then we have the Nordie over here, or the big Northern accent on.
I'm a big
Northern.
high now brown cow going on.
But yeah, how are we getting on, Heather?
Yeah, I'm good. Just had a lovely weekend full of music with these lovely people and lots of other friends. So yeah, tired.
Yeah.
But yeah, all good and happy to be here.
So we came up, we sat around the fire, drank a few cans, acoustic guitars in hand, played a few songs, had a good old time. Jimmy Keane, what do you think?
Oh, it was great crack. Yeah, it was great crack. Rowdy, wild. I'm definitely going to sleep well tonight.
Yeah.
We were up till all hours.
Yeah, my neighbours, I'm surprised they don't hate me. They've assured me that they don't. So
No, that's really good. If you did that in Dublin, you'd fucking be bottled milk over the fucking wall at you, like, shut up now, it's 7 o'clock in the evening. Give it over there.
A bottle of milk.
A bottle of milk.
Is that
Is that what you still think we do? Like, are we that far behind? We're still in the 80s.
Is that what you said?
Bottled, like, no, bottled, like,
Oh.
a bottle of milk.
I thought you said you throw a bottle of milk over the head.
That's what I thought you said as well.
No way, really.
Yeah.
Come on, me acting
Throwing
that
bottles of
bad
milk
now.
at But yeah, it was nice to get a few good people around the fire and sing a few songs and have a few drinks. And it was well needed, I thought, anyway.
Yeah, well, had a wee stage going and all with their lights and
A few lights and things.
You
Class.
came,
It was like a little private
you
concert.
came packing.
Yeah.
Not in more ways than one. But
I'm a cold 45. You were singing that song last night.
Yeah.
but that fucking stage was great. Lights, great sound. Billy brought
Big bass.
Big Billy bought his bass, and that was a super cool sound.
Yeah. Shout out to Billy. He'd be listening. Billy Loftus.
Hey,
Yeah,
He
Billy.
plays bass in the Copper Kelly band. It's only the kind of the
he
two
was
of us
so
at the
kind
moment.
he was over the weekend.
He's a
Like,
great
all the
guy.
lovely things he said about the podcast. And we were like, it's kind of nice to hear that.
Give some lovely feedback on
Someone's listening.
Missed you.
it.
Thanks for your matches.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because
You saw this game.
Kenan came really equipped with
One
a
little-
blow-up pillow.
one little blow-up pillow.
About this size. You can't see it if you're just listening, but a very small blow-up pillow.
Mhm.
So he was given
I
a
was-
mattress.
I was full on ready to sleep on the floor. Now, I wouldn't have enjoyed it. That's not the point.
Yeah, I hear
You
you.
know what I mean? I was like, I'll close my eyes. I can't feel anything because we'll get to that. We'll get to that story
Oh,
later
we get
on.
that story in
right?
the bonus episode, I think. Yeah.
That's all. Yeah. And you don't want to miss that one now. But
I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
you probably could smell it.
That's giving people notion now what the hell they're talking about.
Uh,
We have to.
Yeah. So donate. Ooh.
But yeah, we'll have a bonus episode coming out. We're going to record one after this main episode, and that'll be out. We'll release that in a few days' time. For our second Patreon will be free for the masses. But then from now on, or will we do? What do you think? You want to go full on out on this bonus episode, I suppose. So
Well, I don't. What's full on now? I thought I give 100% every time. What are you trying
no,
to
I
say?
mean like say stuff we shouldn't be saying in public.
Yeah, you're gonna get us deleted from the internet. No, we'll see. We'll decide. Flip a coin on it.
We'll flip a coin. But if you do want to hear it anyway, go to our patreon.com/The Heart Saddle podcast and you'll find us there. And for €1 a month, just help support us and podcasts, and hopefully we'll help support other musicians and podcasters and all kind of stuff as well. And we'll have to crack. But yeah, I suppose we do a little bit of music news. So music news with Kenan time.
Hello. Yes, it's me, Kenan. And there was fucking no news this week. One thing, awfully, doing a music festival. But even when I read it, it's like, where is it? It's August 2021. But like things seem to be slowly going back, like, can't they? Like, I don't know if it's that exciting anymore to see a festival being put on.
Yeah.
Depending on the numbers.
Okay, it's still pretty cool because it's still a bit of a novelty to be.
Yeah, it still is, yeah.
To be out
remember
listening
this-
to music. Like,
At the start, we see it, well, ooh, and now they're always like, they're never usually festivals. They're always just like these like glorified gigs. Do you know
Just
what I mean?
a few acts and they call it a festival.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
stand in one spot and you can't move. But that's not really.
That's what they were saying about what was that gig they did? Their
Kilmainham.
festival, Kilmainham one, and
Kilmainham
people
one.
were like put into pens and they felt like sheep. They're herded around.
No
with the
way.
Pens
They
and
test you.
sections.
They tested you going in the door, and if you didn't have COVID, you could go in, but you still had to wear a mask and stay in your cubicle.
yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, it went great. No one got COVID." It's like, yeah, because no one did what they do at festivals. Do you know what I mean? Everyone stayed in a group. They all wear a mask. And it's kind of like you didn't really learn anything from it
Yeah.
because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, no COVID cases. Yeah, because no one mingled because it was like, and as well as that, they had like different food joints. So they had like a burger joint and a chicken joint in different areas. And if you're over here, you can't go over to get a burger. You have to only get out your
And
own
that was in
thing.
your section.
So it's like, I don't know, maybe just put a festival on. get tested and just let them run wild and see what happens.
Do you know what they did? Do you know the Download Festival?
Yeah.
It's like a large rock and metal festival in England. Of course, England kind of just went gung ho. We're open up completely. All this kind of stuff there recently. So we'll see how that goes. But what the Download Festival did was.
I am not England.
It's not England. But basically, they test you on the gate, and if you're fine, you're in the door. You can take your mask off, and it's like pre-virus times inside. It was just free for all. It was like a normal music festival, and it seemed there wasn't like that was a few weeks ago, so we would have heard of any major fallout from it. So I haven't heard anything negative coming from it.
That's good. It's good. Like,
of course, there was the Stendol Festival up here in the north a few weeks ago. You were at it.
Yeah, I was working at it. So yeah, it's been going for about 10 years now, but they tried last year to do it, and it was kind of all systems go until the last second, and then it was the plug was pulled, which was sad because there's been so much work that was gone into it, but we got to do it this year, and it was just unbelievable. I spent the whole weekend just nearly in tears because there was people listening to music and live music, and we still had kind of precautions in place, and there was masks and there was social distance and all the rest of it, but we were still mingling and just enjoying kind of life almost the way it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just unbelievable to be there. So yeah, there's going to be another, because it was kind of like lower capacity people. So I think it was like a quarter of the people that would usually have been there. It was actually allowed in. And that was one of the precautions that they'd taken. So there's going to be another weekend, the 12th to the 14th of August. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Where is Stendal?
It's in Limavady. So like way, way up north.
Okay. Yeah.
Near the beach kind of thing. Yeah.
Down by the beach.
Down by the beach with the bacon. I keep hitting my microphone. No, it's kind of deadly, and that's a cool little idea. It might be I think more people will come onto that train of, instead of trying to like put on a big festival and then it just being fucking canned at the last minute, like splitting it up and having like a 4-week long festival where like every weekend different acts, and you can only buy one ticket, say.
Yeah.
So then more people can go, and it almost, I don't know if that's financially more viable as well. You could almost get actually more people in. What was the capacity?
I'm not sure how many were there numbers wise. I just know it was like a quarter of what it would have been, but it was a lovely wee feel to it as well, because it was almost like a community then, like, just that smaller kind of more intimate feel to it. So
you had the live music vibe and everyone kind of gelling together to hear the music and kind of that atmosphere.
And everyone was just like, it was like we were just like let out for the day. Like we were just so delighted. Everyone was just delighted. So it was a lovely feel around the place as well. So
that's great.
Yeah. Can't wait to get to a gig. Yeah. I was actually telling you about metal gigs. You need to experience a metal gig. It's nothing like it. So I can't wait to get back to a metal gig. I could only
imagine you would have done a gig. It would be the funny. But I feel like you'd get into it. Like, it's freaky at the start. I feel like, because I haven't been to loads. I've been to a few underground stuff, but not many.
Fibber
like,
McGee's.
But not many like big kind of head
big
to
names.
Like a,
Tree Arena type thing.
But I go and you walk in and it's like, not like I would like the music, but I'm not fully into that like community of it. Some people like live and breathe it. I'd walk in and I'm a bit awkward at the start. I'm kind of like the moshing, and I'm kind of like I don't just go in there. I have to like be invited. It's like a catering, a waiter. Would you like to mosh? Will we have a table? Nowhere. Jump in, But then like you talk to one person and you're in, and then all of a sudden you're like, this is a workout. Yeah. Like I'm getting fit.
Yeah.
And enjoying myself.
Yeah.
And I tell you, it's like a big family as well. I went to Slayer. It's like one of the most brutal metal bands people probably have heard of, let's say, and ghastly, gory lyrics and such. But I went in there and was standing beside this like 7-foot biker, and he was like, massive fella. And he looked a bit scary, but I was standing beside him. I was like, "Oh, getting on, man? Yeah, good." You were chatting away, and then the mosh pit opened up beside you, and you're like, having a good crack. But also at the same time, I think they finished the song, and everyone's just like, "Yeah." And I just looked around and was like, wow, I feel the love in this room, from the audience, just appreciating the hell of what's going on stage.
Love that.
And then Tom Araya, the singer, he turns around and goes, "Wow, guys, I feel the love in the room." I said, "Whoa, I just thought that."
I just thought that.
It gives you tingles. It's just, it's nothing like it. But speaking of metal, we're still on the bit of music news. Of course, we had a few deaths in the music world. Sorry to bring the topic down, but it just have to be mentioned. But Joey Jordison, the drummer from Slipknot, the founding drummer of Slipknot, he died there at 46 a few days ago. Poor guy. And he was an absolute phenomenal drummer. He's like, for a generation, younger generation, like your age, anyone listening to music or listen to metal at your age, that would be their number one drummer that they would hear. And like, he was so influential, and he's absolutely kick-ass drummer. Even if you don't like Slipknot, look up his drumming because it's unbelievable, out of this world. And he played live. He has to have a big platform. His drums on a platform, and he'd be strapped into a racing seat. And this whole platform would rise and then start spinning around in 360. And all of a sudden, tilt forward. So he's like 90 degrees. And he's playing, and it'll start spinning around. The lights will go off, and then the platform will light up, and it's like a big pentagram. And he's spinning around. Is he going mad on the drum solo, strapped into his racing seat? Oh, it's just insane.
The shows like that, like especially with full bands, like they kind of not choreography, is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Like the design,
the theatrics of it.
Theatrics, like you're not just seeing music; you're there to see like a fucking show.
I love that bit of it. Like, I think, drama therapy, but I love the whole kind of like stories and theatrics of it all, and the show kind of bit of it, you know. So I don't know. I might get into something.
We had one other death. Was Dusty Hill from ZZ Top. He died during the week as well. Obviously, ZZ Top being a great band, Sharp Dressed Man, and Give Me All Your Lovin' and Touch and all that kind of stuff. But a fun fact, talking about the dead person, but the fun fact is, there were the three guys in the band, right? Two of them, Billy Gibbons and Dusty Hill, were the guys with the big beards and the glasses. And of course, Billy Gibbons had like the microfiber wash mitt, kind of a hat. Do you ever see that? He has on his head. Like something you used to wash a car. And but two of them had big beards. There was one other guy, and he had a mustache, and he was the only one without a beard. But his name is actually Frank Beard. There's a little fun fact for you.
God. Love it.
That's brilliant.
There's the death notices for the week, and so we'll talk to Heather now. You mentioned already you had drama therapy. You're a dramatherapist. That's your full-time career.
Yeah, I'm a dramatherapist. I graduated in 2018, I think it was. So I've been working full-time for about 2.5 years now. And I mean, do you want me to kind of say what it is?
Yes, I was going to ask you, what is your podcast? Or your podcast, I was going to say your podcast. So I noticed you do have a podcast called Real Talk Dramatherapy.
Yeah.
And you had the first episode, and you're giving out about how people didn't know what dramatherapy was. But then you went for a whole hour, and the two of you didn't even mention what dramatherapy was.
We're so sick of explaining it. I think that we're just like, well, because the two of us are drama therapists, so I think the two of us were just like, no, we're just going to talk about the drama therapy that we want to talk about right now. But no,
you should have a card.
Yeah, this is what it is.
And they go, what? And even before they finish the sentence, just go, and you slam the card down and go, there you go. Read.
Yeah. Okay, so it's basically a form of psychotherapy. So it's evidence-based. It's, a proper form of therapy. It's just not very well known. And we're part of one of the creative arts therapies. So in Northern Ireland, the creative arts therapies are art therapy, music therapy, and drama therapy. We're part of the kind of allied health professions. There's 13 of them. So yeah, we use drama and theatre and creative methods basically to do therapy. So it's not really like a talking based therapy. So say if someone, can't talk about something that's happened to them or doesn't want to, or maybe that's not their primary form of communication, because lots of people's primary form of communication isn't actually speaking. So yeah, it kind of helps you be a bit more inclusive, I suppose, because everyone should have access to the best mental health help that they can. So drama therapy is one form of therapy, and that's what I do full time, and I love it.
That's
Love it.
That's super cool. Like I think I'm not the only one here that can attest that like drama and art and all that, like it brings out so much in you.
Yeah.
But I have a question for you, because just imagine, say I go, right, and I'm a bit nervous. Like what do you do when someone is? Because typically with drama, like it's fun, but there's a bit of you just before you're like, I don't know, no, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So what is this? Are like little tricks to get people to kind of be more active? Or?
I think the thing is it's a very kind of client-led process. So you're not gonna be telling someone to do something if they don't want to do it. And you are pretty much in charge of your own session. That's the beauty of it, I think. So if someone's a bit nervous, it's what they want to do at that point to get them feeling comfortable is what we're going to do. And yeah, a lot of our work would be kind of like anti-anxiety kind of things, like grounding work, meditations, we have to spend the first few weeks really building up a therapeutic relationship, which every therapist does with their clients. That's just how our work works. So yeah, we're never going to ask someone to do something that they're not completely and utterly comfortable with. So yeah, that's kind of how we'd deal with that scenario, I suppose.
That's a really good approach.
Yeah.
So like initially when I heard that you do it, that was my thing. I'm going, well, I wonder how if someone's nervous or they don't want to do, they're like, oh, I don't want to act, or I don't want to, do this or do that. It's like, how do you get them? But it's very true. Like it's almost, you can almost predict what you're going to do every week because you're building this relationship with someone, and you can go, okay, well, like we're going to here, and then maybe they might have an incredible connection with you, and then you can take them to here and they want to go, but it's always up to them.
We use a lot of kind of ritual stuff as well. That's big in drama therapy. So, as service user or a client will always kind of know what structure the session's going to take. So, say for instance, like for example, it could be you come in and there's a check-in. Like that's one of the first things we do. Like, how are you today? Like, are you okay? Has anything awful happened to you this week? Like, just to kind of get that out and get into the space. And you can do that in so many different ways. So, like one of the things I love to do, that obviously you can talk in the check-in, but then there's like other ways to tell people how you feel. So like I have a bunch of kind of like felt colors, and it's like pick which color you're kind of feeling connected to today. Then there's another one, like we work with adults and children, but you'd be surprised how adults like go into play mode, because that's what we love. We love to play, so lucky. My job is so cool.
It sounds like a crack.
And then another one is like, we'll have like two like old telephones or something. I think I had one from like my 3310 or something from like, the early 2000s or whatever. And they'll phone me and tell me how they are,
So it's not a direct.
So
it's not directly talking at them. They're kind of indirectly talking to you across the room or something.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
And then what's the other? So there's like a touch kind of like sensory kind of check-ins. I have a big bunch of keys that like colored keys that they can shake if they just want to get some like anger out or something out that they don't want to express verbally, that sort of thing. So that's just like 3 of the things that we'll do. They can choose to do in like the first couple of minutes. And then we'll do like kind of like lighter games, even like just drama based ones, if that's what they're comfortable with. And then kind of go into deeper work. So for a good maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes of our hour, it'll be the deep work that needs to be looked at, the ongoing kind of stuff. And then you'll bring people out gently, like with more little games and then a checkout. So people are very aware of the kind of structure of what happens in their sessions, and they get to make that structure with me, so
they're always dictating what's happening and how it's going.
It's a relationship. It's a therapeutic professional relationship, and we're working together, and it's just whatever needs to happen at whatever point. And I think the thing with drama is that people are really I can't do that because I'm awful at acting, or I'm awful at this, I'm awful at that, or I'm too scared, or I'm too nervous. And the thing with drama therapy and all the creative arts therapies is that you don't actually have to show anyone anything. It's never about the product. It's always about the process. So whatever comes out onto a page, say you're using drawing or whatever, that's what's meant to come out. That means something. That is what needs to come out of you at that present moment in time. If we're using movement, like, we're not going for like any sort of award-winning dance or anything. Like it's what needs to come out of your body. It doesn't matter
no one's
if
judging. No one's none of that.
Doesn't matter if it looks awful.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. That is nothing to do with why we're doing it. So once people kind of realize that is just the method that we work, and it's not actually about performing or looking good or having to put on a show. That's when people kind of start to work well with drama therapy.
Remember Blind Boy Ball Club on his podcast? He was talking about how humans, when we were kids, we play with like a stick in the mud and we draw something, or we get crayons and we get paints. We just have fun. We just make something. It doesn't matter what it is. We just make something. And then it gets to a certain age where we're kind of told, oh, we have to grade that now, or you have to put that away now and concentrate on something more serious and stuff like that. But generally, we're all better off. We just take get a few coloring pencils and draw something down. Not for an art competition or anything like that. It's just for a nice little therapeutic release.
Yeah,
well, everything has to be let out. I think this is the thing with society now and how it's all go. It's like emotions like anger, frustration are like kind of demonized. Like, you shouldn't be angry. You should always be happy. But
we're not going to tell you how not to be angry or frustrated.
That's the thing.
You just shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be. But it's like, shit always comes out, and it comes out in like kind of abusive ways. It comes out in like addictive ways, and you find, but it technically never comes out. It's always just being suppressed by these things. So that's why like something is like, that's why I used to have a drum kit. It was really shitty, but I had it. And every time I was feeling not great, just go out and play drums. And it's like, you're letting everything out, but I think we're not really told that.
No.
So it's like, you're happy, angry. What are you angry for? Or like, kind of, it's almost like you shouldn't be.
Someone else always has it worse than you. I hate that. If I hear anyone saying that, I'm like, no.
Everything's relative.
That's an awful thing to say to somebody, like, just because someone else in the world has it more rubbish than you doesn't mean that what you're going through or what is happening to you or what you're feeling should be invalidated. I think it's really disrespectful to say that to somebody.
School therapists will say that. Really unqualified school therapist. I remember I went in and I told, she was also a guidance counsellor. She's like, what do you want to do with your life? And I was like, I want to go to music college. I want to do music. And I swear to fuck, she laughed at me. She was like, no, there's no money in that. And you're like, fuck off.
Because that's my sole purpose.
His dreams.
Yeah.
Because I think music for me is a therapy in itself. If I ever feel like shit, pick up my acoustic guitar and just batter out some chords and figure out something and like get the resonance of guitar through my body, and I'm just humming and singing, and it's like a release altogether. That's my therapy. But
we're told so much that we're time wasting when we do stuff like that. Like with music, like there's no money in that, or with acting, like, there's no money in that either. And it's a really kind of difficult place to be. And it's like, well, do you know what? If you actually enjoy what you're doing, who are you to tell me that I can't, because you don't think it's a real job or whatever. So I think drama therapy is very good in that kind of sense, because it really kind of like brings people back into that, like, what do I love? How do I express myself whenever I don't have to put on a show for anyone? Because I think people do in general life as well. Like, you have your professional hat on when you're in work. You're not expressing exactly who you are. You're always a bit kind of a different version. So to kind of get into that space and be like, no, it's okay for you to have crayons right now. If you want to use them, and whatever comes out is great. If you want to dance around the room for a while because that's what you need to do right now, that's also brilliant. So, you know, it's a very kind of freeing process as well, because a lot of adults, I think at the start, are very like, oh, this is stupid. And then once they're kind of like, oh, but I used to really love doing this. Like, you can kind of see people coming out of themselves a bit more and just connecting with themselves on a level that hasn't probably happened in a good few years. Yeah. So it's a really special thing to be able to kind of facilitate, and it's such an honor to actually be able to be there, you know, in that space with people. So yeah.
You said a great thing about something you mentioned, time wasting. And I think that's a big thing with adults especially. And that's why we like kind of envy kids that have fun with, like, they'll find fucking, like, they have one toy. Yeah. And that's it.
Or even stone and a stick.
Stone and a stick. A happy day.
Happy days.
I'm sure we all felt it through COVID. You know, when things kind of locked down and you go, okay, well, I'm going to relax. And you don't know how to relax. And you're kind of, you're kind of angry at yourself for not doing anything. And I actually spoke to a therapist, and I asked him about that. I said, and he goes, well, who are you answering to? That's the main thing. It's like, who's saying you're wasting time? And I'm like, well, yeah, you know, kind of, you don't really, you're just like, oh yeah, people will think I'm wasting time.
Just people in general.
They're no names.
There and there.
That's why I call my first album Worthwhile Waste of Time. Because I was making this album, I didn't know if anyone would ever hear it, but it was worthwhile to me to make this album. And even though if it was a waste of time, but it kind of turned out okay, thankfully. I'm like that. I can't switch off very easily in the evening times. Like I come home from a day job and then do some, you know, whatever to do with music or promotion on my Instagram or whatever the hell. Then I want to sit down, I was like, I can't watch a movie. I have to watch it in like 3 parts because I watch it like an hour and like, okay, that's enough for now. I have to go do something on Facebook for music.
You remember that, oh gosh, I have this list of things to do. Yeah. It's really, really hard, especially I think for creative people who always have to be working in the background as well. You know, so you come home from your day job and you have another whole job that you still have to think about. And
you also have to kind of balance everything so you don't burn out.
Which I've done a million times. Like,
and you always blame yourself. You blame yourself for it. It's mad.
Yeah.
You kind of get enough work done.
Yeah. And you're never going to get enough work done. Yeah. No matter what you do. It's like always that point of go, well, I'll get to this point, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Number one, what if you don't get there? And number two, what if you get there and you're not?
You're still not happy.
Where the fuck do you go from there?
Yeah, sometimes I think I'm just chasing like the next thing. And it's like, oh, I'll be happy when I get that. And then you get there and you're like, oh, but what's next? Like, you can't be happy where you are. There always has to be a next thing to be doing. So I think, one of the things I need to learn is actually to kind of be like, I am good where I am. And like, I'm doing a good job. Like, I work hard, you know, but I also need to be able to sit and watch a movie without kind of doing it in 3 parts, like you were saying. Without feeling, oh, I'm wasting time now. I could be doing a million other things. So I think that's something that society has kind of put on a lot of us.
That's the thing as well. I think people are going to look at work now since the whole start of the pandemic and look at it differently. Like, why are we spending 40 hours a week plus in a place we don't want to be, away from our families, working for someone else, where we could just do it from home on the computer, or I don't know, just different things. Like I have a job I can't do at home on a computer, unfortunately, but I'd love to even just go like to a 4-day work week. Just that one extra day a week to do whatever you want, it'd be so beneficial. I think.
Isn't that in Finland? They're doing that. They're like doing 3 and 4 day work weeks. But I think we were talking about this last night, actually. It's like the 40-hour work week is so outdated because it was with, you know, in the 60s or whatever, the man generally would come home to his wife who was taking care of the house and the children and everything else. And, you know, that whole salary did that whole family. And, you know, that was how they lived. But our wages haven't really gone up, and
everything else has.
Now, but now, you know, women obviously have jobs as well, and like more than they did in the past. And so it kind of takes 2 incomes to actually keep a house now. You know, whereas that wasn't the case before.
Full-time incomes, you know, it's not like
not part-time.
And it's kind of a mad thing with all that, because it's kind of going, like, I remember I read something now, I wouldn't be able to quote it off by heart, but that 40-hour week is basically like a maths equation of like the way it works. If you work 40 hours for like whatever amount of years, it gets you close to like have like 10 years retirement and then death. The way it's calculated and the way, obviously, jobs are different, but the way they put in place like workers kind of workers help or whatever they're called, when you have someone in the job that looks after staff kind of well-being, the way they operate and the way the 40-hour thing is basically, it's programmed to get like everything they can out of a worker, and then when he gets to the age, it gives him about fucking 7 to 10 years of retirement before statistically he will die.
You're gone, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they didn't really adjust it much. They kept it like that, and we've all went,
okay.
It's the norm.
But this is the thing, as you were saying, like if you were working at home on your laptop and you could hang out with your family more, and then you're asked to go back in the job, you're like, can I not just stay at home and I'll do the same job?
I've proven that I could do it from home.
I can do it at home. You've messed up here. You told me I can.
Yeah.
Can I not? And they're like, no. Why? Well,
you have to keep an eye on you.
Yeah. There's no real reason. But that's the thing. It's like,
although I don't know, I do. Maybe it's a not popular opinion, but I do think there's value in a workplace, and I do think that we should have 3 and 4 day work weeks. I think the 5-day work week is ridiculous. But no, I worked because I'm in healthcare, so I worked the whole way through everything for the past couple of years. And everyone is like, oh my gosh, well done us, well done healthcare workers, all the rest of it. And yes, well done healthcare workers for getting us through a pandemic. But also, I swear to you, if I was told to sit at home for 2 years, I would have actually gone mad. Yeah. Like mad.
I was going to ask you as well, there'd be a whole demand for healthcare, mental healthcare service now after this.
Oh, there will. Yeah, it's definitely growing. Yeah.
It's growing now. You see already.
It's the kind of, I think dramatherapy is going to be needed a lot more than it has been in the past, in the coming kind of months and years. Which is it's an awful thing to say, but it's great for dramatherapy. But
Cha-ching! Here we go. Cue up, bitches.
No, that's not how I work.
I said it, right? Heather has nothing to do with my comments. My comments are my own. Don't worry.
He's wrong.
Well, you were telling me before you kind of had to basically kind of made your own job.
Yeah. So we're not in the NHS in Northern Ireland.
That's the National Health Services for
Irish
people.
National Health Service.
Thanks, Copper. There you go.
I just like pointing out things.
Just in case.
Kind of obvious. Captain Obvious over here.
They teach them something down there, they do.
In Wexfordian
The Wexfordian.
Yeah.
We're highly cultured, I'll have you know.
I just want to keep my mouth shut, I will.
So we have a few jobs in England, but we're not really there yet as much as we should be. And over here in Northern Ireland, we don't have it at all.
So you said you have a few jobs in England.
A few.
My brain hit dubs. So I thought you said we have a few dubs. You went,
dubs.
I have a few jobs. And I was like, and then I'm going, what? Did I miss something? What's the story with dubs like?
Jobs. There are a few more career opportunities in England, but nowhere near what it should be. And then over here, we don't have any in the NHS yet. So we're working on it. But I think I worked so hard during my master's, like nearly put myself into the ground. Like it was awful. That I was so determined to have a career out of it. And I was like, I do not care what I have to do to get there, but I am going to be a full-time dramatherapist. And so I started working. I came home from Australia and I started working in
so you lived in Australia. That's a good thing to point out as well.
Yeah. I lived in Australia for about 3.5 years.
Never lost the accent.
And
G'day, mate.
Yeah, that's how I signed.
Signed.
Oh,
I signed.
Yous are jealous of me. So So when I knew I was coming home, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to be at? Because I can't just go home to nothing again. Like I left when the crash happened and everyone was just deserting Ireland, as we tend to do at certain points in history. So there were no jobs over here at all. What are you laughing at, Kenan Flannery?
That's what I dig.
You're making these little these Nordie jokes, and I'm just keeping my mouth shut until all the proddies stop listening. They have short attention spans.
Oh, do I?
Smaller
Yeah.
brains.
Yeah. I struggled there. So we're waiting for them to flutter off like flies.
Okay.
Then
So
we'll-
then you can start being sectarian after.
I'm gonna pull the balaclava out.
Oh my gosh.
I have a
bonus
Hurley-
episode.
I have a
Wait for the
Hurley
bonus
over this.
episode.
Yeah. Okay.
So everyone
It's going to get you cancelled.
It is. Yes.
Only
Look
in the
at
north.
Got that hair in me. They're driving up now. They
I
are.
hear the drums. That's it. You can actually,
They're off
in the evening
beat,
time,
they
you
were.
can, across the field, you can hear you hear the drums.
Yeah,
going.
the
It sounds like
lambegs.
an old tractor driving along. Chugga,
Yeah,
chugga,
it
chugga,
does.
chugga, chugga.
Except more musical.
Yeah. So you have a whole heap of orange men baiting their, what's it called? The lamb?
Lambegs.
Lambegs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that happen a lot?
Round summertime. Yeah.
Like once a week or?
It
few
just
days,
depends.
I'd say.
Yeah. A few days. Yeah.
It's just a special occasion or a funeral. Or,
Yeah. If there's something coming up,
That's cool.
got to get your practice in,
Yeah,
like
got
any
it.
performance. So
There you go. Turn down for what?
I tell you, you are getting an education up here, so you
Oh,
are.
yeah.
well,
That was an experience. I'd never actually, I've been up here a few times, but I never just sat outside and hear,
Yeah.
what's this going on here? Just like looking over her shoulder. What the heck? They're coming closer. They're coming closer.
They're coming for
I
you.
wondered like they did. They were.
This has been a trap for you lads,
Yeah.
actually.
It's like
Like,
echolocation. Where's the dub? Where's the dub in the Wexfordian? We can say, "Dum-dum-dum." Oh, we've hit a surface. There they are. There. It's like echolocation. That's what they do.
That's it, yeah.
They go around, they surround us.
The sense Catholic.
Yes, they can sense it. See,
go, go,
our
go.
ears are a bit bigger.
It's
you
Black
know,
Fan,
yeah.
lads. Black Fan.
Oh, but that's it though. I had the lads called whenever you were up here. It was like,
Yeah, that's it.
they'll be waiting out there for you whenever you're
Yeah, but
on your way
came up.
home.
Wusses.
Get out of my house.
I shocked myself.
Get out. Would you like to continue my story about dramatherapy?
Yes,
Is that,
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. So we
Can I-
don't cause an international incident.
crisis? Yeah.
Start the troubles up again.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
How did that happen? The Art Saddle podcast happened. So yeah, I was working as an actor over there and in healthcare as well. I was doing like support work. And so I was doing the two things separately and I didn't realize that you could actually meld them together and have a career. So I said this a million times in podcasts, but this is what I actually did. I Googled the words drama and therapy and an actual job came up, which I was delighted about. And I decided that was what I was made for. And I knew there was a course in Maynooth at that point in Kildare. So when I was still in Australia, actually I applied and got in. So I came home in the March and started in the September. But I was working as a care assistant. So I'm in men's mental health in a kind of residential and nursing home, basically. And there's 37 service users there. So I was a care assistant there. And then I went on to activities. I was an activities coordinator there. And then once I graduated, I'd always said, like throughout the whole thing, I was like, poking head office, just going, so you're going to give me that dramatherapy job then afterwards, aren't you? And they were like, But I was on a mission. So I kind of did out this big massive proposal and just was like, this is what dramatherapy is. This is why it would be really useful for here. This is what my day would look like. This is how much it would cost. This is how it would be good for the company, how it would be good for the residents, I just put everything down on the table basically. And I got a call into head office and they told me they were giving me a job. So, oh my gosh, I cried for about 2 hours because what had happened was, I think it wasn't very long before that I got properly registered. It was an absolute nightmare for me to get registered just because of the north-south kind of things. All right, Kenan.
I'll leave it. It's a cheap shot. Where are we going? I have to use them sparingly.
Yeah, and my friend Kira, who does the Real Talk Dramatherapy Podcast with me.
Getting a shout out there, yeah.
I had written a play, and it was pretty much about our whole experience in the masters, doing the dramatherapy masters, and how it was kind of like living from home and all the rest of it. And yeah, it was hilarious, if I do say so myself. So we did it in a festival, the Five Lamps Arts Festival in Dublin. So I would work towards that for ages. And all of this stuff just happened all at the same time. Like I got my registration, I got my job, we'd finished our play, And I think it was like one morning, I just was like, oh my word, this has all just happened to me. And I just like sat in my bed and cried for like 2 hours. It was like all this stuff that I'd worked for so long was just like, bam, 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 here you go. And I was like, wow, I'm so exhausted. I can't do anything but cry right now.
That's how you put the work in.
Yeah.
You always say, I know it's I don't know, the saying up here, but if you throw enough things at a wall, eventually something will stick.
Throw enough shit at the wall.
Yeah, that's my big belief. Like, fucking, if you just keep knocking your head off, you know what I mean? You'll get fucking, put the work in. Tiny bit of luck.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing, and it worked. Thankfully, I'm so lucky. So there are 5 of us in Northern Ireland. I think at the minute we're really, really small. And we'll meet every so often, be like, just because it can be really lonely because, no one knows what you do. And no one really kind of understands it because we are small, so we're not integrated into the healthcare system at all yet. So yeah, the 5 of us kind of meet and see how we're doing basically, and give all the news and plan things, what's kind of the next kind of promotional thing that we're going to do, to raise profile, all the rest of it, which is lovely. Like I'm the link person for BADTHA, which is the British Association of Dramatherapists. So there's a good bit of support from there. And then I'm also on the council of IACAT, which is the Irish Association of Creative Arts Therapists. So that's with dramatherapists, music therapists, art therapists, dance movement therapists, and dance movement psychotherapists. And then there's expressive therapies as well, expressive arts therapies. So the 5 modalities kind of like, that's a real kind of hub of support there as well. So I have communities down like in the south, I know I should, how do I say it? In Southern Ireland.
In Ireland.
in Ireland. And then I have like communities in England and here as well. So it's really important, I think, in dramatherapy, if you're a dramatherapist, to keep connected, because it can be so lonely and so isolating. So you need to have those little pockets of communities there to keep you going.
Keep you trucking, You don't want to feel, because if you're doing that constantly and you feel like there's no one else that kind of understands you, especially if people don't know what it is. Yeah. When it's so big, like when it's so new, people are like, I don't even, you said therapy, I don't know the rest. And then you kind of go, oh shit, but once you meet other people and you go, this is why I do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did you ever get anyone that has gone on to do like acting jobs or like kind of things like that? Because I feel like that's a really cool gateway, isn't it?
Clients?
Yeah, you might realize like how much you like acting and then.
No, not really, because I think anyone who kind of comes and starts, works with acting will already have been acting and, they're comfortable with it. That's something that they're used to or whatever. And that is not that's not our reason for being at all. That's just how we do it. It's just the art form that we use. So it's not really like the purpose of why we exist as a therapy. I suppose like the therapy is why we're there. That's just the cool way we get to express it. So
it is pretty cool, to be fair.
But like I say, you do get people kind of going, oh my gosh, I didn't know that I could do that. Because if people want to push themselves, they can. Into kind of uncomfortable kind of, and therapy is uncomfortable. It's always uncomfortable because you're pushing these kind of thoughts and things and boundaries and issues that have been in your life for however many years. and maybe you didn't even know they were there. Like, I know I'm in therapy. I'm touched, like there's issues that I'm kind of working on now. I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing. I actually didn't have a clue. And I would never have known if I wasn't in therapy, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I just think everyone should be in therapy, to be honest. Like,
But
I think everyone would benefit from therapy.
yeah.
Like everyone should try it. Even if you feel like, I'm grand, you know what I mean? Because there is, there's always that, like, that part of a human, the existentialism, kind of going like, comes out late at night and you're on your own, you go.
Oh, the thoughts, the 3 a.m.
Just
thoughts.
hit you.
Yeah.
Whoa. But I think everyone could benefit some way or another.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, there's all these different forms of therapy. Like drama therapy is not for everyone. So, if CBT is your thing, absolutely go for it. If drama therapy is your thing, like go for it. I think you have to make sure that you're in the right type of therapy for you and also with the right therapist for you. Like it's really important to have a good working relationship with your therapist as well. Like someone you feel completely at ease with and yet who you trust, So it might take a wee bit of work to find the correct kind of scenario for you within therapy. But once you find it, oh my word, you're on a journey. Like,
tell us now, to change track for a minute, you're also a singer.
Yes.
I did mention that at the start. You're a singer and an actor at some points. Tell people what have you done in the past? You were in Australia, you were in War of the Worlds.
Yeah. So I was an actor in Australia. I think my first acting gig was when I was 8 in the school play.
Yeah.
When I was eight years old.
Do you remember what you played? What you did?
Yeah, I was the fairy godmother in Cinderella, but I was like the shit fairy godmother. It was like different. It was a different version of Cinderella. And the fairy godmother was just like, I can't even like turn something like, what is it, pumpkin into a carriage? Yeah. I could do, I think, turn it into like something completely irrelevant. I can't remember. I had a song about what a failure I was. I swear that was not good for 8-year-old me.
Yeah. In front of people, how much of a failure.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm working through now. And like, no.
That came up recently in the last session, was it?
Yeah. So, basically, from then on, I went to my teacher. I was like, I loved that. I didn't know I loved that. And I started going to like speech and drama kind of classes and that sort of thing. And I was so shy. I would not have said boo to a goose at all. Like, and
say boo to the goose.
Boo to a goose. And, like kids are mean and there's bullies and there's a lot of shite that you go through when you're a kid. Like, and yeah, there was a lot of kind of confidence stuff there. And I think drama was one of those things that just changed my life. And that is why when I realized that drama could be a therapy as well, you could use it in therapy. I was like, wow, even better. Because I know how much it actually changed my life. But anyway, that was my first gig and unpaid and
exposure. You got paid in exposure.
Yeah, I love it. That's how we live. But
we all pay rent.
Yeah,
exposure. We all know that, don't we?
That's the currency we use. But to be fair, 8-year-old me was okay for a house. I had that sorted. I had a roof over my head.
Grand, yeah.
So yeah, I just kind of like I never took it like wildly seriously. It was just like whenever something came to me, I'd be like, yes, I'll do that. And I did the whole thing. I was like singing in church for years and that sort of thing. And then I started singing at like events. Like people would start asking me to sing at like maybe weddings or different events that were happening for them. So I've done a whole lot of that. And then I sing with Eugene as well, with Copper. Sorry.
Your real name has been exposed.
Who's that?
Everyone's going to spam you now.
Awful joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heather sings backing vocals on nearly every one of my songs. There's one or two without her, but she wasn't good enough.
They're the rubbish ones. No. Am I joking?
But we've written some songs together as yet unreleased, but I'm putting the final touches on them and stuff. We have a few songs written together, and I helped you produce your first single that's coming out.
Yeah,
we're shooting a music video for it tomorrow.
In Wexford.
Yes, You're singing Laura by Bats for Lashes.
Yeah, it was originally by Bat for Lashes. Oh gosh, that might have been early 2000s. I'm not even sure. How bad is that? But I started singing that song in Australia. I used to like sing in pubs in Australia every so often. And yeah, my housemate actually, he played and he said to me, I didn't know the song. He said to me, Heather, that song, I have a song that would really suit your voice. So I learned it and turned out that I just loved the song. So I would have sang it every so often, wherever.
You sang it last night and it was beautiful. I don't think I heard it.
Oh, thank
before,
you.
and it was gorgeous.
Thanks. So yeah, when I got home, then yeah, we recorded it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few times we did like a live thing of it.
We've done a live kind of a version of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we recorded it properly in
Studio ways.
Lindwick Studios.
Yeah.
Where is that?
In Graignamanagh.
In Graignamanagh.
Friend of ours, Mark.
Yeah.
Bulger.
Beautiful.
Lindwick Studios in Graignamanagh.
Beautiful part of the world.
He's in the Star Comedy Democrats, great band.
Yeah, they're class.
Yeah.
Check them out.
Check them out.
So we're shooting the music video tomorrow then for Laura, and it's just kind of escalated. I didn't expect it to kind of happen, but it has happened, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah. And
we're getting together with my mate Declan. He does all my music videos as well. And generally our plan for music videos is like, I want to get this kind of a background and then we have this kind of shot and that kind of shot, and we'll get there and we'll see what happens. Then Heather rolls up at a 2, 3 A4 page bullet pointed list. It was like almost like a storyboard of each shot and each angle, and it was like, oh my god, she's really planned this out. And there's just another story behind that. I'll let you tell that. What? Kenan's after robbing Heather's idea.
Oh yeah.
No, before you start having a go at me, right?
Which I will.
I'm gonna back you up on what he said, because I do storyboards for my music videos. I think they're really good. Yeah. And it means if you even break it down in song sections, you go, what do I want in this? Maybe this is what's going to happen. But maybe I might want this. You get the shots and then you're grand. Instead of just rocking up, willy out, fucking free like the wind.
That's how I roll, man. That's how I roll. Willy out.
Barely said, oh, we'll film anywhere. Do I need to put clothes on? Give it over now.
That's all.
I think it's the writer in me, because I've written a couple of things. So yeah, I think it was like, I want to know like the vibe that I want to kind of have. And it's like, it's not even that we need to follow it like exactly. I won't be mad if it doesn't turn out exactly the way I have it written down. It's just like, well, we can fall back on that if...
Basically, we can copy Kenan's music video for his upcoming single.
Right, no, okay, I'm not letting this happen. No.
Okay. Tell us.
So basically, I just written my storyboard, my 5-page extravaganza, right? And I was feeling all proud of myself. I was like, oh, geez, that might actually come out all right. And then I was like, oh, just go on Instagram here, have we scroll. Oh, what's Kenan Flannery up to today? We music video, love it. Let's see this. Anyway, it's literally nearly exactly everything that I had just written down. I was like, no way.
You're getting your lawyer on the phone.
Really, like, it's how? Like, that's the thing. How do we manage to pull that off?
The collective subconscious. Or
it is. Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because you text me. No, you didn't. You sent me a voice message. And you were in fits laughing. But it was the funniest thing ever. And I thought it was like, oh, that's obviously dope. But then you like properly told me, like, no, I literally just finished it. No.
Put the pen down. I'm not even joking.
And I went on to Instagram and your stupid fucking Dublin head is in water, getting me yearly wash as usual.
Yeah.
I was saying, as I said it to you last night, we should shoot a music video. Maybe an alternative version of what you're doing, but shoot a shot for shot in the exact same place I did mine, and we just fucking mash them together.
Yeah. No one would know the difference. Like, be like, this is one music video.
Yeah.
It's just
and we look identical.
Absolutely, 100%. I'm rocking that beard.
But we're actually coming up to like the hour mark, so we're going to switch over to the page, as I like to call it, the Patreon. We'll go over to the bonus episode shortly.
Okay.
So before we do, we'll have to shout out our socials and where people can find us. So Heather, go first. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Heather Turkington Music on Facebook. You can find me at Real Talk Dramatherapy on Facebook and on Instagram. And also Dramatherapy Northern Ireland as well on Facebook. Did I already say that? No, that was Heather Turkington Music. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Fair play. Wait. For our audio listeners, you don't need to know what Kenan was just
No,
doing.
you don't
It's all
need to
good.
know, yeah.
He's
but
being a
This will
brat.
come back to bite me in the ass. Well, listen, someday
That's
I'll do a gig.
Sure, how
up
singing
and
your
down.
rebel songs. They're far worse than this.
Tell anyone that. But I'll come up and do a gig, and maybe someone will be like, "Oh, heard you do a podcast? No, I haven't seen it. No, but watch it." And I'll get a stern message from one of them. I know, it's all crap. You condone my behaviour.
Sure. Well, condone's a strong word.
Stop. You need to come on now. Okay, you're getting me in a pickle.
Do you know what? It's okay because the lads are out there anyway. No one's ever going to hear from you again.
No,
So
disappeared.
Bye,
Goodbye.
Mom.
say bye. Say bye to the
Course.
people.
Of course, you can find us on the Art Saddle Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, artsaddle@gmail.com is the email if you want to write to us, talk to us and such. And of course, we have our Patreon, the patreon.com/the Art Saddle Podcast. And we're going to slide over to the page, which is going to be behind this Patreon paywall, as it's called. Hate that
Slidey,
word.
slidey.
Don't worry,
Hate that
because it's
word.
not
Yeah.
expensive.
Not expensive. Of course not. It's only €1
€1.
in a month.
Empty your
And
pockets.
Even if we build up a few episodes, you can pay the €1, listen to episodes and come off again. It's grand. It's up to yourself.
That's it. You can donate. It's monthly, so you're basically paying 25 cents an episode. So you can drop €1 and go, you know, maybe you'll like something that we talk about on the main show, and you're like, oh, I want to hear about that thing, you know, about the stories we have
Kenan's
about
story
the
about last night.
past few nights and the fiery exit we had on it. But kind of sounds like I'm talking about like a bad shite.
It could have been now. We were singing Ring of Fire last night as well. Or was it the other night before?
Tell you now. I won't get into it now, but Ring of Fires, yeah. Okay. But yeah, so you can drop €1, get 4 episodes, and then you can bounce and be happy out. Or you could keep donating €1. That's what's that, €12 a year?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're going
Bargain.
to keep going at this because this is
We'll
crack.
keep going, yeah, we're
This
having
is
a
good
bit of crack.
so we're going to
You
keep
get
going.
episode, and then obviously you get a shout out
Shout
on the
out,
out.
yeah.
And then we're hopefully further down the lines, like
We'll start adding and developing.
I should have fucking got one of them mugs made, because I remember you were asking. I should have bring it up.
I just think we should have had a mug we put on the table in front of us there.
Region. I will get my hands in a mug.
I will. I'll get you one made.
Yeah.
Thank
Mugs
you.
are exclusive to hosts and guests at the moment. So
Yes.
Yeah.
we'll have to get a few made out.
That thing, if you look, even the people, if anyone's watching and you want a mug, just reach out and
Yeah.
I'll get it sorted.
Get
If you
you-
want. It's a
get you
deadly
sorted.
mug, has the logo on it.
It's class.
It's a pretty class
Class
mug
mug.
now.
Glass
Yeah.
mug.
But- and I know
things
the
just
bloke
taste
that-
better out of it too.
Oh,
Don't
it
you think?
does. It tastes like pure masculine energy. Just
That's it, yeah.
If
From
that's
us.
what you want.
from, yeah. Well, you know,
From
you take it or
masculine.
leave it now. You have to
Oh, sipping that to
chase the dragon, as they
testosterone.
say. So we're too masculine, man, aren't we? And
It turns your tea into your wildest dreams.
oh yes,
what happens.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
Every
But,
mug comes with 2 tabs of LSD.
Or just a bit of hope. I don't know.
I should have left that for the other episode.
But we're going to say goodbye for now and skip into the Patreon. And we'll talk to you next week. That's
Goodbye.
Bye from me. Bye from Heather. Bye from
Bye.
Adios.
Toodaloo.